Alright, today we're going to be going over chapter 1038 of the One Piece manga. I'm one half of the Straw Hat duo, Charlie. Shayna is not with me in this video because she's not caught up with One Piece as of yet. Once she catches up, she'll be joining me for these chapter reviews. In the meantime, me and her will be going over the comparison and review of the early chapters leading up till now on our regular content. But for now, let's go ahead and get into Kid in Law vs. Big Mom, chapter 1038. Alright, and to start out, chapter 1038, Kid in Law vs. Big Mom. Starts out with a cover story that has been going on for the past 2 volumes. I think they took one break in the middle of it, but it's the Germa 66's Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 3. Niji and Yanji captured in Chocolate Town on Coco Island. So they're in the bookmark thing that I believe Nami and Luffy were trapped in for a little bit in Whole Cake Island. And Oven seems to be guarding them with Carmel standing in the background. She almost looks a little bit nervous. Seems like she might be looking to help them escape. Judging on, what all happened at the end of Totland and whatnot. So the next page, we get right into it. We're in the battle with Fukurokuju and Raizo. They are still stuck in their paralysis jutsu that they put on each other. Raizo is completely engulfed in flames, and Fukurokuju looks to be starting to burn. He might be on fire a little bit. It's a little hard to tell. He pretty much tells Raizo, release your jutsu or we'll both perish. Raizo doesn't say anything. He just pants a lot. There's a lot of panting in this chapter. It's more than I remember being in pretty much any chapter. But, the entire building is on fire, so it must be pretty warm. It switches over to, Raizo, close up. The veins are showing in his eyes. He's completely on fire, but he's holding strong, I guess, somewhat. On the second, that cuts over to the second floor with a bunch of samurai trying to flee. They run into a dead end as the roof collapses on them. The ceiling starts to come down, and Jinbei catches it. He's recognized as one of the Straw Hats by the samurai, and he allows them to get away. He kind of looks confused and goes and pants some more and says, I wonder how the fire is spreading so fast. It's a little odd. At this rate, countless are going to burn to death. Dying in battle would be far less cruel. That's true. A quick death is much better than burning to death. Then it cuts back over to the live floor where a bunch of samurai are trying to get away from Big Mom so they don't get caught in the crossfire, and it shows Chopper, who is finally getting out of his chibi form. He finally recovers, and the doctor says, oh, thank goodness, you've recovered. Chopper's like, those side effects made me withered and weak for a while, but this is nothing. I'm more worried about Zoro. And he's like, the doctor's like, that's right, the remedy he took, that's a little worrisome. And Chopper's like, that super recovery also has a great cost, right? All the damage he suffered will come back many times worse. I hope he's won his fight already. Before, his injuries were so bad he couldn't even move. If those wounds get much worse, it could be bad. Kind of cuts out to Zoro, please don't die on us. Then it cuts out to the outside where we see Zoro laying there. He's got the shading over his eyes, so not sure if he is hallucinating or what's going on, but it shows him trying to sit up and he can't move. And it cuts over and you see a giant Grim Reaper holding a scythe looking like it's ready to attack him. Now, I've seen a ton of speculation on this thing in particular. There's a lot of different reasoning or thoughts behind it. I would find it kind of comedic if this was the personified Guardian of Hell or King of Hell, seeing as just in this fight, Zoro flat out said, well, if that's what it takes, I'll become the king of hell. Wouldn't it be kind of cool if this was that personification? And much like in Bleach, him stabbing Zoro with the scythe in this case kind of transfers his power to an extent, maybe in just a spiritual sense, but it would be interesting if they brought that into One Piece, because with Brook, we already know there is an underworld. Brook has already stated that. So what this is could be anything. I mean, it could even be Brook, honestly. That's one of the theories I've seen. Just Zoro's hallucinating so bad that he sees Brook like this. But anyways, it shows a little map of the dome interior right brain tower, and Franky seems to be running towards where Zoro is. And Franky's like, Zoro, you bastard, where'd you go? So it seems like whatever this is, Franky will be to Zoro, shortly, hopefully, if Zoro needs it. So then it cuts back over to the first floor attic, which is where Usopp helped save Kinemon and Kiku, I believe. So this is also where Izo, I believe it was. Yes, Izo came to help save Usopp. So the Beast Pirates are a little upset that, Izo came to save them because he's a former Whitebeard commander. And then it shows Izo, and he's bleeding. He won the battle, but he's injured. He underestimated their numbers, and, they got a few good hits in on him. So then it shows the Cypher Pole. The Cypher Pole appear in front of Izo. They state that they're from Aegis Zero branch, and they heard that Izo was on the island. They try to, brush it off and say, let's just pretend like we never saw each other. We technically aren't supposed to let you off the hook, being, a notorious pirate and everything, but we are currently set on the Straw Hats in particular. I'm sure we'll meet again. As they try and walk past him, Izo, it's shown that, Izo has a little hesitation and then says, stop, not another step, CP0. And then it cuts back over to another scene. This is a very sporadic and fast-paced chapter, and it's also a pretty short chapter, at only 15 pages. But, well, let's keep going. It goes over to the basement armory, which is where the gunpowder was that the yokai is trying to get to blow up the entire island. So it cuts over there, and Yamato is rushing down to try to, get to the gunpowder before the yokai does. It shows her really hauling down the stairs, huffing and puffing, and she manages to see the gunpowder as the yokai is just about to make contact, and she transforms into, I believe, her hybrid form. It might be just full-on zone form. I don't remember what the name of her zone fruit is. My apologies. But she blasts a breath of ice out at the bombs to freeze them, which is the gunpowder, but it is literally just giant Looney Tune bombs with, Skull Pirate hat or crosses on them. It's definitely something out of the Looney Tunes playbook. She uses the move Namiju Hokaya. Yeah, I'm probably butchering that, but it's essentially fire breath, just ice instead of fire. And she freezes the bombs. She screams at the yokai, don't touch it, and then hits it with her kanabo, which she pulled out of nowhere. But anyways, she hits it with her kanabo, showing that it does have a physical manifestation. Yeah, that's... I'm just going to leave that in. I'm terrible at saying that word. Anyways, it kind of calls out Orochi-sama, and then extends kind of a tentacle hand type thing and engulfs Yamato in a flame. She screams out and it cuts over to the live floor now. Which is where we get to the title of this chapter. It shows the Kid Pirates and the Heart Pirates screaming, "Have mercy, Big Mom. They can't even move." And it pretty much shows Kid and Law just laying on the ground, lifeless, and some pirates saying they're gonna die. Now it goes over to Big Mom, who is, Giant Mom at this point, panting, of course, because, like I said, this chapter is full of panting. It goes to about a half-page spread of Big Mom standing over the bodies of Law and Kid, saying, "Ha, your underlings are begging now. You two have really hit rock bottom." And she laughs. They're beaten and bruised, bloodied. Big Mom pants some more, and then the crews try to go apply first aid to them, like it's a D&D match, Hera comes in and says, "Quit your belly aching, you pests," and, uses a lightning move to blow them all away. Big Mom pants some more and says, "Now then, I don't think that Kaido has let out his usual victory cry yet. Don't tell me that puny Straw Hat brat is holding out alone." And I've also seen a lot of speculation on what Kaido's battle cry is. A lot of people are saying like it's a excited cry, like a primal roar type thing. I'm going in the opposite direction. I feel like his usual victory cry, I want to say it's just him bawling his eyes out, unconsolable crying. And I do have a slight theory for this, and it's only because he's looking for a proper defeat. So anytime he wins a battle, he's not really getting what he wants. He wants I mean, in buggy terms, a flashy death, So anytime he wins a battle, it seems like he would be upset about that, such as, letting out a victory cry. But, I mean, who knows? With any luck, we won't even get a chance to see it in this. Luffy will just, win. But that's yet to be seen. It shows Big Mom again saying, "You better not be playing with your food, Kaido. Hero, take me to the roof." Hera agrees, and Big Mom's like, "I'm beat. Let's finish this quickly." And then you see Law's hand with a little bubble around it, and he says, "Kairum." Panting, "Anesthesia." Big Mom kind of has a silhouetted figure with the flames in her eyes as somebody says, "This is the end." And then Law's sword is plunged through her arm about here, through her chin here, and out her face here. And everybody is shocked. Like, the pirates are like, "Oh, he killed Big Mom." Chopper sees it and says, "Traffy, what's with the huge blade?" And then he, Law's pants some more. Like the last attack, he barely felt a prick, and then Big Mom cuts him off. "What are you doing? Knock it off." And he uses an attack called Shock Willie in this translated version, which is a hilarious name. It's all in the name, I don't have to make a joke about it. Shock Willie. Anyways, it looks like blood, or it looks like it could be blood just spraying out from Big Mom. It looks like it caused immense pain for her. And at that point, the steel beams that she animated start to try to attack Law, and all of a sudden they realize that they can't move. They're being pulled back towards Kid. He says, I'm sick of these steel beams running their mouths. Just obey my magnetic fields already. Big Mom, obviously not down yet, kind of looks up, says, you can still stand, Kid? Pants some more, of course, because, you know, it's got to have all the panting in this chapter. And then says, guess you kids are hell-bent on taking my head. Kid says, it's kind of weird. Like, I have a new reason to keep fighting. I bet you anything, Kaido is reaching his limit up there. If you give it long enough, even mountains can be worn down by the rain. And he pants some more, because, you know, well, I think this is the first time you see him pant in this. But hey, you know, they say you emperors are invincible. What a joke. There's no such thing. Then he uses a move called Punk Cornadio. I don't know. It's a massive bull that is even bigger than Big Mom in her giant form. He says, listen up, you old hag. I don't care if it kills me. You're not reaching that roof. As, you know, the giant bull hits her. And the narrator ends the chapter out saying they're putting their lives on the line. Next issue, cover and color spread. And that's the end of chapter 1038. A very sporadic and action-packed chapter. And there's no break next week, so I'm looking forward to see what's happening. Alright, so that's the end of the video. I appreciate if you watched all the way through, and next week we'll be back to our regular content. We are still in the process of improving all of our work, our audio, our video. I know in this video I noticed it did cut a little red every now and again. I am still trying to figure out how to fix that. Until then, I appreciate if you bear with me. Next week we'll be back with, you know, our review of episodes 5 and 6, I believe, and the chapters that correspond to that. And I hope to see you there. Bye.